Hi fellas, did you see that Hatchet job by that pathetic Sky News correspondent, reporter? I don't think you can really call him a reporter, as they used to be known for trying to tell the truth. But as we know, where Tommy Robinson's concerned, or anyone that speaks bad about that good old religion of peace, oh, they must be evil. I mean, we all know this ideology is perfect, isn't it? Perfect system for all mankind, except for the fact it's killed kind of 250 million of those mankind. 250 million murders is a bit on the low side. It's probably close to 300 million, but whatever. It's never been peaceful. All you plebs that have been to university like me, you've been fully indoctrinated from you 16 years of age into believing this is all lovely and peaceful and it's the ideal. You know, oh, we know that 7th century Mo was the ideal role model to all men, don't we? Yes, that's what it says in the book. Yeah, so if you want to be an aspiring Hannibal Lecter or you know, a mass killer, just follow his example, because he did plenty of them. He even did them with his own knife. It says so in their book. It says so in their own writings in this very unholy book. That old Mo, yes, back in the date is given, it's the month, everything is recorded. In 627 AD, he had these visions in these caves on this mountain. Well, it's not a mountain, it's just a glorified hill, really. It really is, it's still there. Hira, H-I-R-A, Mount Hira, look at it. And yes, he had these visions, and these illiterate Bedouin, camel guarding lowlives were now suddenly transformed by these visions from being bottom feeding lowlives to being the best of people in humanity, the rightful masters of the earth. This is what Tommy Robinson knows about. This is what Paul Golding knows about. This is what Jada Franson knows a hell of a lot about. I know a bit about it, I've read up on it, not as much as Tommy. And it has to be said, my father was the first one to warn me of this ideology. He warned me when I was about 12, 13, how savage it was, and don't believe any of this nonsense you hear about the Crusades, because they used to steal the kids. I said, are you serious, Dad? You know, really? Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, this shows what a really clever man my father was. Far cleverer than all the CNN fake news idiots. Far cleverer than all the BBC, and especially that overweight Sky journalist. I mean, good God, man, you need re-educate. You need putting into a re-education course, a truth course. I mean, when they were knocking people down on Westminster Bridge, and those American tourists and those poor English people that just wanted to see the city, I mean, do you think they were following a peaceful ideology? There's at least 109 verses in this ideology that tells them to kill us, tells them to rob us. In fact, old Mo in the 7th century was actually just a warlord and a thief and a murderer. He also liked children in a very horrible way, a very unnatural way, which nowadays would be considered criminal. You would be put in jail for many, many years. Hence, he had a liking for young girls and boys. Don't forget the boys. Don't forget Hassan and Hussein, mentioned in that unholy book. Yes, there's two of them mentioned. And when Mo was abusing them in his tent, he didn't even stop when his followers came in. And it states it quite clearly. He didn't even stop. They even forgive old Mo, all, you know, molesting little boys, giving oral to little boys, slitting the throats of little boys, owning slaves. Yes, old Mo, this lovely individual that's the ideal role model to all men, he was an established slave dealer. It says so in their unholy writings. Tommy knows this, Jada knows this, but none of you Sky journalists know this, do you? Not one of you. I don't know. I mean, I know Tommy's not averse to getting his face in the media because it helps his cause. And do you guys in CNN and fake news, you guys that have been university and think, oh, I'm on £100,000 a year, so they'll all listen to me. They'll all believe what I say is true. But we don't, because thanks to Tommy and a few other people, we know quite a bit about this ideology. We know it's killed hundreds of millions of people. We know it encourages paedophilia. Have you heard of Bachi Bazi boys? This is been well covered up in the Middle East. This is little boys who dress up like little girls. So old, semi-impotent Arabic rich men can bum them, and if they want to, you know, there's been cases where they thump them and they smash them and they kill them. But they're poor male prostitutes, dancing boys, and they're rich old men, so nothing happens to them. Even if Afghanistan this happened. So Tommy Robinson and say I'm Britain First. I mean, they've both been treated by the same hatchet job, haven't they? As we know, I knew a lad when I was at school called Alan, and he knew about these rape gangs even then, talking mid 1970s. And I must admit, you know, you never saw anything in the media about it. I didn't believe him. Nobody believed him. He used to go out on activities on a Saturday, and I have to say, well, Alan, despite me calling you Little Adolf at the time, yeah, you were right and I was wrong, matey. You know, he sadly died in a motorcycle accident when he was 22, I think. But anyway, Tommy Robinson and a few others. There's Tommy Robinson, Jada, Paul. I mean, they're all given the same labels. If you go onto the BBC, and if you go onto YouTube, I should say, and put in Britain First, one of the first videos that comes up is the BBC. Is Britain First the most dangerous far-right party? Well, no, not really, you silly twonks. How many rape gangs has Paul Golding been head of? How many people has he knocked down? How many people has he bombed at pop concerts like Manchester Ariana Grande concert? Exactly nil. Tommy Robinson and Paul and the rest of them, all these people, all these like slightly right-wing truth tellers, have hurt nobody directly because it's their Christian ethos. They don't want to hurt anyone. But on the other savage ideology, they're told to hurt people, they're told to murder people, they're told to enslave people. And these people, which is you and me and Mr. Trump, we are dirty kuffar. This is how racist it is. They've even got an insulting racist name for us. Dirty kuffar. We're scum. We're animals. We're the lowliest of beasts. This is how it has been for 1400 years. But none of you plebs that have been to university, or that mock-the-right convert, who must be a convert because he makes fun of people going full gammon. Well, I actually enjoy a bit of gammon. But I don't enjoy the same things the Prophet did, like molestations, like cutting people's throats, like conducting massacres, ordering his gangsters to do massacres. In this most unholy book, which I don't think I can name really, otherwise the video might get taken off, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? It's nothing like the Bible. People presume it must be like the Bible because it's supposed to be a holy book. It must be like the Bible. Nothing like the Bible. There's a few verses earlier on which mentioned being peaceful. This was done for tactical reasons, to avoid him being assassinated. But thanks to abbreviation, all the early peaceful verses are overruled by the later, very violent ones. And that's how it is throughout this holy book. The whole Middle East, in fact, was Christian with a small Jewish element for 600 years. 600 years before this prophet decided to raise his ugly head, invent this ideology. I mean, he was probably a paranoid schizophrenic, truth be known. He was certainly a very disgusting, evil individual. He wasn't peaceful. He wasn't nice. He even had his own people. There's one case where 3 or 4 people wanted to leave. They didn't like the setup, but they could see he was the master and they were basically the murdering slaves, and they left. And you know what he did? He sent assassins out in the desert. He chopped their hands and feet off. This is his own people who just left. They chopped all their hands and feet off and poked their eyes out with hot nails and left them to die in the desert heat, blind, without hands and feet. How cruel is that? It's not very gentle at all. And that was to his own people. So I'll let you go. We know who the hero is, and we know who the fakers are, the liars, the ignoramuses, and that's Sky News, CNN, BBC, all you plebs, the mock-the-right plebs. These are the liars and the deceivers. Tommy Robinson, and I'd include Paul and Jada in this as well, are the truth tellers, because they're both telling us about these mass racist, dirty, grooming, filthy abuse gangs who also do kill girls. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye bye.